what I wanted was to help my parents, especially my mom. My mom, I think when I was younger, she had a boss that would like just abuse the shit out of her, man. She would work hours on hours, 7 days a week, and it was just like. So when I turned professional and I got my first ever check, I told my mom she didn't have to work no more, you know, and ever since I've been pro, she hasn't worked anymore, and she's been at home.
Boy Show. It's your very own reality show, Spanglish style. Kill me.
Get on the phone with Shoboy here. Just went 24 rounds with Diego Pacheco right now. Yeah, he's smiling because, you know what I'm saying, it was a great workout. Carnal, thank you for allowing us into your gym, bro.
Of course.
Aquí en el corazón de Los Angeles, getting ready for your fight this Saturday. Don't miss it on live on DAZN in Carson, Califas, where, you know, the Galaxy plays, bro, at the stadium.
Definitely, man. We're happy to be back here in LA, man. There's nothing like fighting here at home. And, you know, just do it again in Carson, man. In Carson, 2 years ago, I had one of my best knockouts to the body. Yep. So I'm very excited to be back, obviously, with a new trainer, new team, and we're coming better than ever, for sure. 25-0, 18 KOs, carnal. You are considered top 5 contenders right now in middleweights. Obviously, en la mira, in the future, looking at possible fights versus Munguia, possibly Canelo. Tell me what a fight like that would mean for you, bro. Man, that's what I dreamed of as a kid. You know, obviously training since I was 10 years old. You know, when I was an amateur boxer, I wanted to be the best amateur, and I got there. You know, I was an 8-time national champion, ranked #1 in the country here and in Mexico. And now as a professional, you know, I'm aiming for the same thing, you know, to be #1. Right now I'm in the top 5. But, you know, obviously, like Kobe said, job's not finished. You know,
that's it.
We got to get to #1, you know, so I'm focused and just ready to get to #1 by any means necessary.
That true LA spirit, representando el Sur Centro, Mexico Americanos. I know one of your close homies, Pablo Bam Bam, also a boxer. He worked with me in radio for a minute, and he just telling me, man, what a lot of people don't realize in the amateurs, right? El sacrificio que toma for you, where you're giving up your teenage years. You know, completely tirar party, being out with the friends, and he was telling me stories of like him driving you down to Tijuana so you could catch a flight as a teenager to go live in Mexico for a few months and train out there. Tell me about that experience, and as a teenager, just being like, yo, lánzate a Mexico and go train.
Man, it's crazy, man, the journey I've been on so far. I started boxing when I was 10 years old. At 12, I became a national champion. And ever since then, you know, it was all up, you know, tournaments, training camps. I would miss school a lot because of boxing, you know, doing tournaments. Tournaments are a whole week long, you know, so I started falling behind a little bit on my school stuff because of boxing, but that's what I wanted to do. You know, I felt like I could do it, and my dad believed in me, my parents believed in me, and thanks to them, you know, I'm here now. And obviously, like I said, you know, I feel like I still have a long way to go, but I'm very grateful with my journey so far, and just excited to bring a world champion to LA.
Let's go, baby. That's right. And this Saturday is the stepping stone towards that versus Aleem, a tough contender, hermanito. And what would you say you learned in your time in Mexico, in boxing in Mexico?
You know, obviously in Mexico, it's a whole different culture, you know, a whole different atmosphere. You know, the fans there, they want to see wars, they want to see blood, they want to see knockouts, you know. So, you know, going through that and just, you know, getting myself out there, you know, I was real uncomfortable out there, I'm not gonna lie, you know. Just being in Mexico, you know, it's something I wasn't used to. You know, my parents are both immigrants, you know, so they weren't able to be there with me, you know.
¿De qué parte de México?
Mi papá es de Zacatecas y mi mamá es de la Ciudad de México, del DF.
So how old were you, and they sent you over because of their immigration status, they couldn't go and come back at that time?
Exactly, yeah. And I was, the first time I went, I think I was like 14, and I was on my own. You know, I had to make my own decisions, budget my own money, you know, figure it out, make sure I didn't run out of money before it was time to come back, you know, make sure everything was good. So
you didn't go splurging in la tienda de la esquina, bro?
I couldn't.
Right?
My dad had that talk with me, like, you have this money, it better last you all week, you know? So definitely, you know, just learn and grew, you know, being on my own and making my own decisions and learning how to navigate. You know, I remember when I went to Mexico City, a lot of people warned me about how you get robbed there a lot. Like, they say, you go on the bus, they'll pocket check you, you won't even feel it. You know, so you know, just being aware and kind of having those things in the back of my mind.
But the good news is that you're so tall, bro, that for people to pocket check you, they got to jump up to get to your pockets. You feel me?
And then too, I'm from South Central, you know, so I'm always on my toes. You know, I'm always watching my back, yeah, for sure. So, but you know, it was a great experience for me. You know, I got to learn a lot from coaches down there. You know, and something I really don't speak too much on is the people kind of neglecting me, you know, because I'm born here in LA, in the US, you know, so people felt like I was taking a Mexican spot by being over there, you know, so.
Even though your parents are both inmigrantes, tu sangre es mexicana,
100%.
But just because you were born here in the States, United States, in a way, being in Mexico, training in Mexico, they kind of shunned you out a little bit, like you're not truly one of ours.
Exactly, that's how I felt, you know, and I remember there was a Munguia, a world championship tournament coming up as an amateur system. And Mexico had spots for 4 guys to take. And they told me if I wanted to be part, because I was one of the guys that qualified, you know, I was one of the best guys. So they said, if you want to go with us, you have to pay your own way there. You have to find your own way there.
Figure it out.
We're not gonna back you up with the finances. So, you know, me at the time, you know, knowing my situation with my parents, you know, my parents work hard, regular jobs, you know, they don't have the extra money for these international trips, you know, hotels, all that gets expensive, you know. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, probably not gonna go then, because, you know, my dad can't afford to send me all the way to Europe, you know, and do a tournament out there. So it was something where, you know, it hurt me a lot, because I was like, damn, I'm not getting backed up. You know, I'm putting the work in. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm here in Mexico training, but they don't want to support me with that, because I'm from LA, you know, because I'm from this side. So it was something where I was like, fuck, man, you know, I want to go. You know, I'm doing everything right. So I talked to my dad, and my dad's like, damn, like, you know, we'll figure it out. And thankfully, you know, my parents had to do a kermés. I don't know, you know what that is?
They had to do what?
A kermés.
Oh, kermés,
Yeah.
And had like started selling
so,
food, bebidas, lo que sea.
So my community got together, you know, the people who knew me, who wanted to support me, and everyone like did different foods, raffles, and a bunch of stuff, man. We raised the funds, and I got to go to that tournament, and it was a great experience for me. It was in Budapest, Hungary, and I remember the first day I beat Japan. And then in the quarterfinals, I lost split decision to Kazakhstan, and that guy won gold. You know.
So you're one step away in a way, and it was split decision.
Yeah, it was a really good fight, really good experience. You know, I'm glad I know my parents did that for me. You know, and obviously, even though Mexico didn't back me up with that, I was still very grateful with them for the opportunity. And you know, now we're here. You know, I love my roots. I love to represent Mexico and the U.S. of course. So. Yeah, let's go.
Nah, I love it, man, because we don't have to choose, right? Being Mexican-American, I was born in Mexico, but I'm also very proud to be from the United States as a naturalized U.S. citizen.
For sure.
And it's a blessing to be able to represent both. You know, I got my daughters now that are in your situation, right? They are Mexican-American, but their blood is Mexican. They're so proud of their roots. And speaking about that, hermano, one of the most, I bet, amazing events for you in your life is becoming a girl dad.
Definitely.
Welcome to the best hood, fatherhood, bro.
Yes,
I'm a girl dad as well, the few, the chosen, you know what I'm saying?
Man, it's beautiful.
How did that change your life, becoming a father, bro?
Man, it changed me so much, man. I remember before my daughter, man, I used to, even just like the way I would drive, man, everything changed, you know. I don't drive the way I used to, you know. You remember the first day when you drove home with your daughter?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, you almost want to put pillows around her, colchas, cobijas San Marcos in the back.
Yeah.
You don't want the air to hit them, you know?
Yeah. So, it changed me, made me more responsible, you know, more aware, more everything, just a better human overall, you know. So, you know, I thank my little girl for that, and I want to have more girls for sure. Yeah, for sure.
They're so loving, man. How old is she now?
She's 2.5.
¿Y cómo se llama?
Se llama Divine.
Divine. Why did you choose the name Divine?
I really love that name, and I also want all my kids to be with a D like me. So I want my kids to be DP just like me. So all my kids are probably gonna be with a D until I run out of names.
Right, you're like, when you have 12, you can name him or her Dozen. You know? Dozen Pacheco. Keep an eye out for Dozen. Right? No, that career needs to go well though. We need that fight versus Munguia and Canelo,
yes, sir.
So that we can have 12 kids. So you can have 12 kids. You know what I'm saying? Para darles un buen futuro.
Sí.
No, but that's amazing, bro. That you're a father now, and how do you want to be? I know you're just continuously building up in your career, but how do you want to be remembered as a boxer, as a son, and as a father?
As a fighter, obviously, I want to go down as one of the best ever out of LA. Mexican American, of course. I'm very proud to represent my roots, and I feel like I just got past that first stage of my career where it's the learning phase, and now I've graduated to the point where I'm ready for these world title fights. And that's what I'm chasing, legacy. From after this fight, of course, with Alim, primero Dios, todo salga bien. I'm not overlooking him. We train really hard for this fight. And all up from here, I want to become a world champion sooner than later, like I said, bring a world champion to LA, and, hopefully many more belts after that.
And how do you want to be remembered as a son?
As a son?
For your parents, Inmigrantes de Mexico.
You know what, man, I always put my parents first. The reason I even wanted to pursue, a career was to help my parents. I remember when I decided that boxing was going to be my career, I never thought about being famous. I never thought about being a star.
That wasn't the motivation or the drive.
Exactly. My main motive, my main motivation, what I wanted was to help my parents. I knew that whatever I did, if I was the best at it, it'll benefit me to be able to help my parents. And that was the number one thing. I grew up watching my parents work hard, watching my parents, especially my mom. My mom, I think when I was younger, she had a boss that would just abuse the shit out of her, man. She would work hours on hours, 7 days a week, and it was just like, when my mom would come home, I'd rub her feet, I'd do whatever I can to help her because she'd be tired, so my back of my mind was always like, man, I need to help this situation, So when I turned professional and I got my first ever check, I told my mom she didn't have to work no more, and ever since I've been pro, she hasn't worked anymore, and she's been at home, with my dad, with my brother, with family, So thankfully, I was able to do that, and now,
that's amazing, bro.
Hopefully, very soon, I'll be able to retire my dad too.
Hey, man, you know what, Diego? I think that's any son or daughter's dream, especialmente siendo hijo o hija de inmigrantes, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that sacrifice that they've made for us, everything they sacrificed, that letting them know that it's not in vain. It was worth it.
It was worth it, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And for sure, bro, I know your parents are super proud of you, bro, and that's a blessing that you were able to bless your mom with her not having to go back to that crazy ass job.
Yeah.
And she's taken care of now like the queen that she is,
Definitely.
And I see that this is a gym that you've built for yourself, hermano. Y también tienes a tu carnal, your little bro training here who's fighting this Saturday live on the zone as well in Carson.
On the undercard,
tell me about your little bro.
My little bro, man, he's like my best friend. We grew up sharing a room our whole lives. We sometimes slept on the same bed. So what can I say, man? We do everything together. From the moment I wake up, the first person I text. Where we gonna run at? Where we running at? And we push each other, to train hard. And obviously, we both grew up with the same situation, where we wanted better for us, for our parents, for our future kids, So we work hard and we stay humble and we're just chasing greatness, helping people anytime we can. Me and him are two guys who, man, every day we're helping people as much as we can, out in the streets. Here in LA, it's really hard, man. Bro, I'll be driving down the street and I just look in cars, man, and people look stressed. People look like damn, and it just hurts me. I wish I could help everyone, but obviously it's hard to help everyone, but we help as many people as we can. And we've never been the type to record ourselves when we're doing any of those things because it's just never been in us to do that, But
te sale del corazón.
Exactly. We definitely love to give back.
Hey, but Papa Dios sees it, bro, and that's why he's gonna continue blessing you and the fam,
100%, and that's what I want to teach my kids. That's what I want to teach the younger generation in my community. That chase your dreams, give back, and God will keep blessing you.
Amen to that, familia. Don't miss out. Pacheco versus Alim this Saturday, July 18th. Carson Califas representando South Central, representando México Americanos y el futuro del boxeo. How far off do you see a Munguia fight for you? God willing, everything goes well versus Alim.
After this fight, man, God willing, I take care of business Saturday night. I'm looking forward to a world title fight next. If I were to be able to pick my next fight, I'd say Jaime Munguia, because he's a big name here, a great Mexican champion.
Yes.
I remember watching his fight when he first became world champion. I was actually in Mexico at the Olympic Training Center when I was watching him become world champion, and he's a great champion. I love a fight with him. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It'd be a hard fight. He's a great fighter. But I'm up for the challenge, and if he gives me the shot, man, I would love to fight him for sure.
And what's your prediction for this Saturday's fight versus Aleem? What are you trying to do?
For this Saturday, I want to give my LA fans a great big knockout. You know,
Hey.
either to the head, to the body. You know, but I just want to give a great show, a great knockout for sure.
I mean, last time you fought in LA, you had one of your best knockouts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. Every time I find LA, it's been a knockout. You know, so I got to keep that going.
It's like cuando la selección de Mexico plays in el Azteca. You know, it's like that extra
Yes,
you know?
Sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. You know, it's like fighting at home. You know, all the crowd is cheering you on. So it gives you a little edge, you know, to pull that off. So hopefully, you know, all the fans come out Saturday night and push me to get that knockout.
Amen to that, bro.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
appreciate you, carnal.
Thank you.
Aquí tienes a toda la familia de Shoboy Show supporting you este
Muchas
fin de
gracias.
semana. Y siempre, carnal, súper humilde este compa. Let's get behind him and support him, bro. And I just want to give you this, bro. I know you're a man of faith as well. This is a prayer that I say, my wife and I say with my daughters every morning and every night. And it's don't stress, do your best.
Oh, I like that.
And then
God will do the rest. Amazing.
God will do the rest. So we ended up making little bracelets here, bro.
I appreciate that,
Yeah,
bro.
there you go, carnal.
Man, I love this. Thank
So
you, man.
now you can pass it on to
Appreciate
your daughter.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
All
man.
right,
Appreciate
girl
that.
dad's out.
Muchas
Ánimo.
gracias.
Follow us at Shoboy Show. SHOBOY Show.